Iran and major world powers say they're close to reaching an historic nuclear deal aimed at preventing Tehran from building an atomic bomb. They have until later today to reach an agreement. It's their third extension in just 2 weeks. National security analyst Arash Aramesh joins me now from Los Angeles. Good morning to you. How likely do you think is it that we're going to see a deal reached today?
We're getting all the necessary signs, necessary positive signs for there to be a deal. There have been many sources who have actually said this anonymously, that ministers, foreign ministers of the P5+1 and Iran, including Secretary of State John Kerry, are ready to announce a deal by Monday morning, which already is Monday morning your time, but here is Sunday night. There are some key issues, though, that the world has to see how the Iranian side and the 6 world powers decided to resolve and go around. One key issue is the issue of inspections. Iran has always been very adamantly against allowing foreign inspectors to come into its military facilities and what it calls to be non-nuclear facilities. The second issue is the issue of sanctions relief. Iran has always wanted a much faster, much more expedited, and much deeper sanctions relief regime than the West was willing to offer. And the third issue that surfaced in the past 10 days was the issue of arms embargoes imposed on Iran since 2006, and Iran wanted those lifted as well.
Now, tell me, why is the US Congress skeptical of any deal being arranged?
Well, US Congress, the House and the Senate, both with Republican majorities and a significant number of Democrats from various congressional districts and various states, are not very optimistic about an Iran deal. They will cite as reasons that Iran is not a trustworthy government, that Iran has been supporting and sponsoring terrorism and terrorist groups in the Mideast and the broader region and the world, and C, it is naive to think that with a nuclear deal, the revolutionary ideology of the Islamic Republic will give way gradually to a more moderate, peaceful, friendly, and pro-Western sort of ideology. That's what they would cite. And they're saying, listen, Iran has not yet proven that its past nuclear activities have been all peaceful. They still call for the destruction of the state of Israel. They still say death to America. So why should we trust them now? On the other hand, proponents of this deal, supporters of President Barack Obama, Secretary of State John Kerry, and a number of Democrats and some Republicans, very few in between, have come out and said, listen, maybe this is not the best option that we, or the best possible solution, but there is really no other alternative. We can either enhance the sanctions regime and let the Iranian government go towards more isolation and perhaps even getting a bomb, North Korea style, or we got to go to the negotiating table. So we're going to see how it's going to work out. But hardliners, both in Iran and here, are going to put a lot of pressure on the negotiators. And as you mentioned, Congress, the main Iranian daily today, Kayhan, whose chief editor is appointed by the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, had nothing nice to say about the negotiators and the negotiations, and was saying, listen, anything agreed in Vienna based on the Lausanne Agreement is a complete loss.
Arash, how significant is this deal? We have heard from Israel who've said that even if a deal is reached, they'll still see Iran as an aggressor. So do you think it will even make a difference?
Well, getting a nuclear deal with Iran is probably not going to change Iran's outlook in Syria, Iran's actions in Yemen, Iran's interests in the Persian Gulf, Iran's competition and rivalry with Saudi Arabia, Iran's support for Hezbollah, and most importantly for an American audience, Iran's sort of existential threat to the state of Israel. So no, I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon. But what was very surprising that just a few hours ago, Time reported, according to Time, Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif, who was speaking to a German television channel, said, and I quote, if the Palestinian issue is resolved, Iran will be, it will be one of the conditions for recognizing the state of Israel will be met. Now, it is not exactly clear what he meant, but I'm sure a lot of hardliners in Iran will be very, very upset to hear that.